Hey Chewy, we're home. A pointy PJ from the 80s might not be much of a thing, I guess. But I've had a few bass guitars, and there ain't nothing I'd rather have than a pointy PJ from the 80s. In all seriousness, though, if you're looking for a basic 4-string, you could do worse than searching the flea bay for one of these old Charvel Jacksons. Made in 1988, when the women were hot, the men looked like women, and Japan was at the top of its game. The Charvel Jackson Model 2P was the P-bass counterpart to the heavily metallic shred machine colloquially known as the Super Strat. Most prominently featuring the PJ pickup configuration, combining the split pickup of the P bass with the single coil bar of the jazz bass, and boasting a beefier bridge, 22 frets, angled headstock with modernized machine heads, and the infamous hockey stick headstock. What truly set this axe apart was that it had a really nice neck. Streamlined with generous string spacing, buttery smooth action, and a hard to break scarf joint, it made the perfect companion to the Eddie Van Halen shredder type super strats the Jackson was famous for. Now, I'm well aware that these attributes don't really qualify as features, and that this axe is extremely basic when it comes down to it. But what I'd like to turn your attention to is the high grade of workmanship for a relatively affordable mass production instrument. Good luck finding something new that's this well made for under $500 nowadays, that's what I'm saying. This is from a time when the land of the rising sun was at the height of its powers, and everybody in the Rust Belt, which is where I'm from, hated you if you opted for an automotive product of Nippon over one from our declining Motor City. Their mass production machinery and quality control must have been top notch, because the neck and fret work are pretty much flawless. Stock pickups sound good, cut through the mix, and won't have you rushing to replace them. And this wasn't even billed as a high-end instrument. This particular one features a blend knob instead of a regular toggle switch. I was never sure what to think about these blend controls. See if you can hear the difference. That was neck pickup only. This is 3/4 of the way between both. Neck pickup only again. 3/4. Hear much difference there? Here's both pickups. Now that sounds different. Here's the bridge pickup only. Now that sounds real different, but here's halfway between Bridge pickup in both pickups. Yeah, I guess it sounds different, but come on now. This bass is also notable because no bassist I have ever liked has ever used anything remotely resembling one. Tina Weymouth. Chris Novoselic. Dave Allen. Jean-Jacques Burnel. Matt Lukin. In fact, it was this picture, more than anything else, that convinced me I had to have a real Fender. Now, with those big machine heads and classic headstock, the Fender's got a lot of mojo. And over the years, I've seen a lot of Fenders, and I'm a big fan of the jazz bass in particular. But after numerous fractions of eternity, nothing I've seen has convinced me that this Charvel is actually any worse than any of them. You just gotta suck it up and get past that hair metal look. The consistency of production they had back then was also remarkable, because this specimen here is almost exactly like the first electric instrument I ever had. That's right, at the tender age of 13, my parents got me a nearly identical Charvel bass for Christmas. Thanks, Mom and Dad. So I hope you'll pour yourself a tall one and indulge me in a little nostalgia session. Things were grim for kids in small-town America before the advent of interwebs. And Nirvana was just about the only good stuff the lamestream media was giving us back in '92. Luckily, good old Kurt Cobain did us kids out in the sticks a big favor by using his position of prominence to plug his favorite bands. So I got into the Gang of Four. Rest in peace, Andy Gill. Big Black. Rest in peace, Dave Riley. Sonic Youth. May y'all live long and prosper. So I started making up my own stuff. Here's an early riff. Later on, I got into the Stranglers. Jean-Jacques Burnel wouldn't be caught dead with one of these things. But you sure can fake a decent P-bass sound. Then I moved to Hamburg and left my original Charvel to reside with the guy from Schadenfreude and the Zeitgeists. I started getting into chillier music. And then I got into other stuff. And then I found this thing on the Flea Bay from JP Stingray Guitars in the Netherlands. And now, everything has come full circle with the Charvel Jackson Model 2B.